If you work with large lists in Excel, a problem is that when you start to scroll down, perhaps using the mouse wheel or the arrow keys, at different times you might be forgetting which column is which. What does it stand for? What's the heading? We're missing row 1. We can easily freeze row 1. Make sure it's visible. You can click anywhere on the screen, but make sure row 1 is visible. And then on the View tab up in the ribbon, you'll see a choice called Freeze Panes. Click it. Freeze top row. Slight subtle change on the screen. The separator between row 1 and 2 is a black line as opposed to the other separators, which are likely to be gray lines if you're showing grid lines. As I start to scroll now, look what happens. Row 1 stays in place. And that's really handy. You can leave it there indefinitely. It has nothing to do with printing. If you save the file, open it, this feature will still be in effect. It has no impact whatsoever on content. Now, there's another possibility here, though. I'm going to scroll to the right because I'm looking at some of the compensation numbers out here, and I'm saying, which person is this about? And I have to scroll leftward to remind myself which employee I'm concerned with. So there could be times when you're more interested in freezing the first column. So let's go back to Freeze Panes and unfreeze the current frozen pane, and then making sure the leftmost column is visible. Freeze the first column. There too, subtle difference between the column separator there and the other ones. Now as I scroll right, we always see column A. We always know which person, which employee we're concerned with here. And already you might be thinking, well, could we freeze the top row as well? Because now when we scroll up and down, we're forgetting what each column is about, let's say. We can do both, but we first have to unfreeze the panes and then making sure that row 1 and column A are both visible, we'll click on cell B2. And now, as we freeze panes, the description, keep rows and columns visible while the rest of the worksheet scrolls based on current selection. What we are about to do is freeze all rows above the active cell and to the left of the active cell. Freeze panes, and now we can scroll up and down and always see row 1. And no matter where we are in this list, we can scroll left and right and still see column A. Again, has no impact on content here, has nothing to do with printing, and that's a way we cannot duplicate with paper, but it certainly is handy as we work with lists here. And as it is with certain features in Excel, you cannot undo these, but you can certainly go back to the View tab and unfreeze or freeze as necessary. So it doesn't fall into the category of commands you can undo. The next worksheet over has the same data, but it's been converted to a table. Now, you might not have worked with that feature just yet. Its main difference, at least initially for most people, is this look of banded rows and the automatic built-in fact that when you work with a table, as you scroll using the mouse wheel, you automatically see that the titles are there all the time. They take the place of the column letters. So there's no reason using this feature to freeze the top row, but you might want to freeze the leftmost column. So in a table, you can certainly go to Freeze Panes. And as long as that first column is visible, freeze first column, we can now scroll left and right. And because it is a table, we scroll up and down, we can always see those column headings. There are rare times when you might want to freeze multiple columns or multiple rows. We don't have the need here, but if for some reason the building site manager is looking at this list and he or she always wants to see columns A and B, then simply unfreeze the panes. This time click on cell C2, come back, freeze panes. Now we can scroll left and right and always see those two columns, up and down, and always see that top row. So it's a handy feature, easy to get to, freeze panes, found on the View tab in the ribbon. On this worksheet called Split Screen, imagine that we'd like to see people from a certain training department and also people from another training department. This list is sorted by department name, but the two lists that we're trying to view at the same time are not next to one another. Now, possibly we could be using a filter, or maybe we could hide all the rows between the two, but it might work best if we simply split the screen. And you can split the screen either horizontally or vertically. And as we'll see a bit later, even both ways. So let's imagine that we'd like to have a horizontal line across the screen roughly halfway down. Let's click over in column A, row 8, row 9. Doesn't have to be perfect, makes no difference really. More or less halfway down the screen. And then on the View tab in the ribbon, we want to click Split. and a horizontal line is introduced. We see it right here. But even more important is off to the right, we see 2 scroll bars instead of 1. So one for the upper portion of the screen, one for the lower portion. So the scroll bar on the upper portion, I'm going to drag down that scroll box right here. And I'm looking for data around row 90, or there it is. Some of these admin training people. I've got another group of training people down here that I want to see. This list is sorted alphabetically, and I think it's around row 500, I forget. But I've got a scroll bar over there for the lower portion below the split. I can scroll up and down that way. And somewhere down here, we come to this other group. There it is, this professional training group right there. So I'm scrolling independently on either the lower portion, below the split, or above it. And we can move this split line up or down. Sometimes that might be appropriate if one of the lists is a lot smaller, perhaps, something like that maybe. We can still zoom normally. That slider bar in the lower right-hand corner, that might be helpful at times. Zoom in, zoom out. And we can leave this here indefinitely. It has nothing to do with content, nothing to do with printing. It's just handy to be able to view different portions of the screen at the same time. If we no longer need this, we can either click that split button up in the View tab menu, or simply double-click this line. Double-click, it's gone. Now, there could be a situation where you might want to split the screen vertically. Maybe at different times we want to see those employee names, as well as some of the data off to the right here. And you can imagine certain worksheets that have many, many more columns than this. But let's say we want to do that. Now, certainly one option could be we could hide columns. But let's say we want to see that other data as well. So to split the screen vertically, it's going to work best if we are seeing row 1. Click more or less halfway across the screen. In this case, D1, let's say. We'll use split. And now we see a vertical split. And that line too could be moved left or right as we wish. But here too, we see 2 scroll bars at the bottom. We can scroll on the right side without scrolling on the left side. So maybe we want to see the employee name, building, department, as well as some of this compensation information. So we can scroll independently on the right side, or less likely, but we can still do it, scroll on the left side. For the moment, we're seeing overlapping data, but we could even be doing this, which is a little bit unusual, seeing columns A, B, C on the right, and these columns on the left. But nevertheless, sometimes you might want that. Here too, we can get rid of the split by double-clicking the line or using the split button up on the View tab. Now, there could be times when you want a 4-way split. I remember discovering this once accidentally. I had the active cell more or less in the middle of the screen, and I clicked the split button up there on the View tab, and I got a 4-way split, 2 scroll bars, 2 on the right, 2 on the bottom. And to prove a point, I could actually go to any cell in the worksheet in the lower right, go to another cell in the upper left. You could view any 2 cells in the worksheet no matter where they are. But I think this is probably a recipe for chaos here and confusion. Nevertheless, there could be some times where this 4-way split is viable. I think for most people, it's more likely to have a horizontal split and occasionally a vertical split. But these are easy to get to. They have no impact whatsoever on content. These are not commands that you can undo and redo, but you can certainly change them quickly and easily. If we no longer need this, we can double-click the intersection. It's gone, or it could have clicked the split button. So we've seen different ways of splitting the screen, left to right, or possibly top down, the more likely choice, or that occasional use of the 4-way split. Many Excel workbooks have multiple sheets. This one's no exception. 6 sheets, we see them at the bottom of the screen. Notice that the longer the sheet name is, the greater likelihood that it explains what the sheet is about, but it certainly takes up more screen space at the bottom. So as you work with workbooks that have more and more sheets, sometimes you think about those naming conventions. It's easy to rename a sheet. For example, on this worksheet, I want to change the name of West to be Pacific. So I click the West sheet, and I could right-click, choose Rename, and Excel responds by highlighting that data, and we could type right over it. I think most Excel users are more likely to simply double-click the Sheet tab after selecting it. Double-click, and I'll just type right over it, Pacific. The name can be up to 31 characters. Stay away from special characters. You can put in spaces and names. Sometimes that makes certain formulas a bit more awkward, but certainly not wrong. So up to 31 characters. Dashes are fine, underscores are fine, but many of the special characters are not. And when we're done, we simply press Enter. There could be times when we want to add new sheets. Maybe I want to add a new sheet here. Eventually, I'll call it Mountain. Here, too, a couple of techniques. A standard technique, again, would be to right-click on a sheet and simply Insert, but then we would choose Worksheet and then OK. That's certainly one way to do this. I'm going to undo that. Now, you can't really undo most sheet actions, but I can certainly right-click here and delete this, as I'm doing. The two faster ways to create a sheet, one creates a sheet to the left. That's with the keystroke shortcut Shift F11. So keep your eye on Pacific as I press Shift and the function key F11. Puts a new sheet to the left. Or moving back to Pacific, I could put in a new sheet to the right by clicking the plus that we see just beyond the last sheet tab. Right out here. Click plus, new sheet. There it is. Now, in both of these cases, I don't need the sheet, so I'll simply right-click and delete. And the same thing with the other one. Right-click on Sheet 2 and delete. Now, there could be times when you want to hide a sheet. Maybe the data here isn't accurate, or I think it's not accurate. It's not conclusive yet. I'm not sure I want to have it showing just yet, so I'll right-click and hide that sheet. We don't see it in the tab anymore. I could do this with the other one as well, too. It's a good habit to get into when you're opening a workbook you have not seen ever, or maybe in a long time, one of your own. Right-click any sheet. If the word unhide is in black print like all the other choices here, it means there's at least one hidden sheet. We can click on hide here, and there it is. I'm going to cancel this for the moment and hide this sheet as well, too. To point out something that has changed in Excel, and is to your advantage, I'm going to hide this sheet first. Then imagine a scenario where I save this file, I close it, reopen it. I forget about that maybe. I'll come back at a later time. I might just happen to right-click one of these. I see that unhide is selectable. I'll click it. And we can unhide one or more sheets. In older versions of Excel, you can only unhide one sheet at a time. So we use the Control key here to select successive ones. If we had a list of these and we wanted them all to be unhidden, we could click the first one and then with the Shift key, click the last one and then click OK, and they would all resume their prior locations. Here we have just two. We've selected them both. Click OK. They've been returned. And again, at different times for different reasons, you might want to hide a sheet. You can also delete a sheet. I did that rather quickly before on empty sheets. But if your sheet has data in it, this one does. If I mistakenly right-click here and choose delete, that's highly unlikely, but those things happen. I'm on the path to deleting this. And not only deleting it, I cannot use undo to bring back this sheet. And what I would have to do in that scenario, if I really wanted that data, would be to close the file without saving it. So you got to be real sensitive about the idea of deleting a sheet as one of those commands that does not fall in the category of a command that you can undo. So in this case, I really don't want to delete. But of course, there will be times when you do want to delete a sheet. And so by way of the right mouse button, right-clicking on a sheet, or using some of the other shortcuts that we saw here, we were able to rename sheets, insert sheets, delete them, and hide and unhide. All valuable tools when you work with multi-sheet workbooks.